Hey guys, so welcome to my presentation of the invasion of the Bay of Pigs. To basically summarize everything in short term, there was this invasion due to something that was going on in Cuba, and yeah, it went horribly wrong. What happened? Well, we're gonna check that out right now. So to start off, here is a map of Cuba that I totally didn't steal from another presentation. It's more to chart things out. So here's Miami over here. It's in Florida, which is near the U.S. Here, of course, is the Bahamas. Got Antilles, whatever the heck that is. Jamaica, Key West, whatever that is. Then over here is Cuba. We've got the Canyon Islands over here, or Cayman, whatever that is. And somewhere over here is the Bay of Pigs. So just to quickly give, our setting of the story. And now, to start off, we've got it's January 1st of 1959. So to start off, the U.S. owned some of a lot of the business and agriculture over in Cuba, which we'll get to later. And that angered this guy over here. This guy is Fidel Castro. He is an anti-American communist who overthrew the dictator Fulgencio Batista. We only need to know only need to know the last name of these guys. So he overthrew Batista via attacking his troop garrisons. There's Castro's troops over here. There's Batista's troops. And this led to Batista fleeing the country and allowing Castro to take over. And so this is more of who owned more of the business. So a lot of the fields and the cattle herding and all of that was owned by America, and Cuba didn't like that. Well, not necessarily Cuba, but Castro. He didn't like that, and so he sought to take more control and nationalize a lot of the business. And that also led to him allying with the Soviet Union. However, before that, America was preparing for stuff. So they elected President Dwight D. Eisenhower into office and had the CIA recruit 1,400 Cuban exiles to overthrow Castro. And over here we've got it's basically the desired outcome. The Cuban exiles, they take over they overthrow Castro, and boom, America wins. And then we have got over here ninjas. They're not too important to the story. I just wanted to draw them. But over here we've got John F. Kennedy, who during the planning in 1961 would end up taking office. And the plan was going to be set into motion April 15th of 1961. And so they disguised so the Cuban exiles bombed Cuban airfields with B-26 bombers disguised as Cuban planes. But this didn't go as planned, as Castro knew of this and moved all of the planes, which angered Kennedy a lot. And that wasn't very good. But it was unfortunately too late to stop the brigade, as they began to move in on the Bay of Pigs in the invasion. It didn't really go too well. Coral reefs were sinking American ships, and paratroopers were landing in the wrong spots. It wasn't very good, and Cuban troops were taking out a lot of the Cuban infantry, of the exiled infantry, to be more specific. This didn't go so well for our guys, our troops, and so in total, a 1,100 troops were captured and 114 were executed. Rest in peace to all that perished in the invasion. And on to the next slide here. Who was to blame for the failure? So, in hindsight, in my opinion, the invasion was rather unnecessary. As, while yes, Castro overthrew the government and began nationalizing a lot of American business, there was really no attempt to actually invade American soil and try to overthrow their government, meaning that this was all rather unnecessary. And so, the fault of the invasion kind of lies on Eisenhower and Kennedy. And now for the aftermath on the next slide. As you can see here, so after the failed invasion, it actually helped Castro's it strengthened his administration in Cuba, and it also strengthened Cuba's ties with the Soviet Union, as you see here. Meanwhile, it didn't really do good for us Americans.